Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing an 8-4 Dragons of Tarkir Fate Reforged draft. I've gotten a few comments about questioning whether I'm going to do Modern Masters drafts. As of right now, I think the answer is no, only because I've watched a few drafts of it, and it's not really, I don't know, it's just not really something I'm super interested in. Are people really crazy about the set? Are people having a lot of fun watching those drafts? Because from the few I saw, it looked, it looks okay. It just doesn't look great. You know, I was mentioned a couple of comments. I'm not a huge fan of putting money down, putting large sums of money down on formats that are like basically just a big mix of a bunch of different sets. And the reason I play Cube when that's out is just because it's so cheap. And like every card is a bomb essentially in Cube. But I don't know. I guess if people are like crazy about Modern Masters, maybe I'll get into it. But it didn't look all that appealing. We got an easy Dragon Lord Jamoka here, which is just a bomb card. An absolutely bomb card. So happily first pick in that. Second pick, Scaleguard Sentinels. Seems like a pretty good one right after we pick a dragon. No white cards in here. Best card is probably Stormcrag Elemental, maybe Ojutai Summons. And neither of these are good enough where I don't want to just stay on color with this Dragon Lord, which I pretty much almost for sure want to play. I mean, it's tough to deny. It's tough to have a Dragon Lord and not play it. The card is pretty insanely strong. So I think Scaleguard Sentinel's the pick. I actually like Lurking Erranks more than some people, but 5-drops tend to be easier to get. And Lurking Erranks is table, actually. So I think I'm just going to take the Sentinel's follow-up pick, which is a card that's actually pretty good. Besides being a 2-mana 2/3, chance that it can be a 2-mana 3/4 is pretty good. Otherwise, I'd probably just slam a piece of removal if there was one in there, but nothing to see. Okay. So options now. No good green or white, really. Jamoka Monument is fine. It seems a bit early to take that. I could take the Vulturous Haven, which is probably just the best card. I don't even think probably. I'm pretty sure Vulturous Haven is the best card here. It's probably a bit too early to take a Monument. So I probably just take Vulturous Haven. It does seem like it's just the best card here. Ambuscade Shaman is a very good card too, but it's tough to justify that after taking a Dragon Lord and a Sentinel, because Ambuscade Shaman's really never going to fit into a deck with either of these cards. You really just are going to be a black-red dash deck when you're playing Ambuscade Shaman. There's no ways around it. Whereas Vulturous Haven, you could splash for an Haven. You could probably get away with justifying that and no complaints, but you don't really splash for like Ambuscade Shaman. Okay, well, we get a Confrontation here, which is a nice gift. Otherwise, what's the next best card? Probably Tail Slash. So I'm fine taking Confrontation in green. Does seem very good. It's also Colossadon Yearling, which I wouldn't mind tabling, but we'll see if that happens. But until then, Confrontation's a nice pickup. Okay. Wow, there's a Drowner in here? That's surprising. There's a Yearling, a Herd Chaser Dragon, and a Segmented Crotique. Dragon seems like it interacts the best with our Scaleguard Sentinels. Yearling is just a really nice, efficient body. Drowner is the best card, but not sure if that's something I really want to pick up here. It just seems a little bit too off from, if I take Drowner, I more just want to, build something closer to making this Vulturous Haven work. And disregarding both Dragon Lord, Jamoka, and Epic Confrontation early seems like a mistake. I think I'm going to take the Herd Chaser Dragon just because of its positive, synergies with Scaleguard Sentinel and Dragon Lord Jamoka. But it's certainly not like an insane pickup. It's one I'm fine with. Okay, picks here. It does seem like white's getting cut off, so if we're still going to make Jamoka work, but we're going to really have to figure out what we want our second color to be. Like, I could take a Tarka Efreet here. That might actually be a sign. a 6th pick, a Tarka Efreet is quite the sign that maybe I should be doing like a red, green, splash white, which I'm okay with. I mean, Efreet just is definitely the best card remaining in here. Lurking Erranks is fine, and it's on color with our green, but if I play a deck that doesn't have Lurking Erranks, I don't really care all that much. I think I'm just going to take a Tarka Efreet and see if red is, in fact, open. Okay. So, there is an actual playable white card here, but I don't know if that's what I want. There's an Acid Spewer Dragon, which is definitely good. And then that continues down this sort of maybe a black-green splash white path. I do think Acid Spewer Dragon is probably the best card. There's a Pinion Feast in green, which you can main deck, but is, you know, a very nice sideboard card to have. I think I might just take Acid Spewer Dragon. If black or red sort of present themselves, that would be ideal. Having another dragon doesn't hurt. All right, it's a pretty late, I would say a really late Savage Ventmaw. I could take the Sheltered Eyrie, which would help splash for the white. I think I'm going to take the Savage Ventmaw. This card's really good. Not like busted, but certainly good. All right, now there's Explosive Vegetation and Dragon Scarred Bear. I actually like Dragon Scarred Bear. I think Explosive Vegetation could work nicely since it, you know, ramps you from actual like 4 to 7 if you hit your land drop, or 4 to 6, which certainly seems like it's good right now. I think Bear is a more playable card, and I think I just want the Bear. I like having the Regenerate Formidable. And I think I should be able to pick up a Sheltered Area if I need splashing, or the lands out of the third pack, of course. Nothing is super insane here. I could take the Shape the Sands for sideboard, or Duress and Mine Route. There's also an Ancestral Statue, which I can consider. Maybe the statue's more of a sideboard card than Shape the Sands. Nothing too insane here. I suppose I can try out Display of Dominance. Doesn't seem super likely I would play it, but it doesn't seem super likely I'd do any of these other cards either, so alright. Well, this is interesting. Really late Beltol Dragon, which is surprising. We haven't dipped into blue yet, though, which makes it slightly awkward. I could do Sight of the Scale Lords, but that card's tough to play, especially with no Colossadon Yearlings. I think, regardless, I'll take it just because it's interesting enough. I don't think I want to be in blue at this point. I would prefer to branch into either black or red and splash for white. So currently that's my game plan, is base green, and then I haven't settled on red or black yet, but one of those is likely going to be what I'm doing. All right. I think we're probably going for the Sarkhan's Rage here. We do have the Dragonloft Idol with Quad Dragon currently, which is pretty insane. But Sarkhan's Rage is a pretty premium removal spell. There's also a Tarka Pummeler, which is very good. And Myth Realized in white, which is certainly good as well. I think I'm going to go with the Sarkhan's Rage. I could just actually go for a removal spell since I've only got the Epic Confrontation. And I think at that point, probably start to just solidify into red-green, splash white. Sarkhan's Rage also seems pretty good since I've got quite a few dragons. Although if I don't end up playing black, we'll be back down to 3 dragons, but I still think that's perfectly acceptable. Hopefully we table the Dragonloft Idol. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities. Interesting. There's Sandcrafter Mage in white, which is actually quite good. Berserker in red, which this doesn't really strike me as a Berserker deck. There's Conifer Strider, which interacts pretty positively with like Dragon Scarred Bear. I might just want the Evolving Wilds here. There's a pretty good shot I end up with enough playables, and we look like we're going to be a mix of some colors here. It definitely seemed like white was getting cut hard in pack 1, So I think I'm going to assume that it is. I think I'm just going to take this Evolving Wilds. I'm not really giving up anything in the colors that I want to be, where I care. I mean, Foul Tongue Invocation is a decent argument for black, but I still think I want to be red, green base, splash white. I think I can make that work. Very likely. This is a great one. Avatar of the Resolute's a fantastic card, and one I'm pretty happy to pick here. Possibly gets boosted from that, and this, and Dragon. So we've already got a few things that potentially get counters, and at worst, what? It's a 2-mana 3/2 Reach Trample. That's pretty good. So pretty happily, yeah, picking that up. I don't think we're going to table Beastbreaker. Possibly table the Conifer Strider, which would be nice. All right, Haven of the Spirit Dragon's not bad, actually, since it has some pretty good interactions with a bunch of different dragons. Like, yeah, it's something I can consider. It splashes for Dragonlord Jamoka. It lets me bring back Dragonlord Jamoka, which is pretty insane. Could table. Haven of the Spirit Dragon could table. I kind of have got my eyes on... There's also a Tarkir Monument which ramps, which is nice, but I've kind of got my eye on Glade Watcher, mostly because our deck looks like it just is insane in the late game with just this sheer quantity of dragons. And Glade Watcher is pretty excellent at buying time. It really is a nice card for locking down the ground. I think I'm going to go Glade Watcher, hope to table Haven of the Spirit Dragon. We'll see if that happens. Interesting. All right. Kind of feels like we're getting cut from this direction, unfortunately. In red, at least. We got some good green picks. I think I'm just going to slam Opinion Feast, possibly main deck it. More likely sideboard it, but we'll see. All right, a second Savage Vintmaw, which is fine. I probably want another Glade Watcher. There's also Hardened Berserker, which can be good. It can ramp you to your 6 drops. Maybe I'd take the Berserker here. I think I'm just going to get out of black. I think I'm far enough down the rabbit hole where I want to just actually decide on what I want to do. So Savage Vintmaw is good. I kind of feel like our late game is pretty good already. I don't have any problems with Savage Vintmaw, though. I do think it's a nice card. I just feel like Glade Watcher might be a little bit better for us. Probably the Berserker might just be the best because it ramps us a little bit. I guess I'm going to go Berserker. I don't know if that's correct necessarily. I just want some good early game. This is a bit of a miss. I guess we take Tread Upon, which is a playable trick, but not one I'm like super excited about. Okay. Obscuring Aether, not that exciting. I guess Press the Advantage is probably the best combat trick. Certainly can be good with like a Tarka Efreet and others. Otherwise, Guardian Shieldbearer or a second Pinion Feast. I think I'm just going to go Press the Advantage. I've got only a couple face down guys anyway right now, so all right. Press the Advantage it is. None of these cards are really playable for us. Just in case I need to splash black, I'll take this Tomb Shell. Okay, we did table a Conifer Strider, which is actually kind of nice. I think that's really good with Press the Advantage and our Dragon Scarred Bear. So, and Tread Upon even. So, yeah, I actually like it quite a bit. And it's good with Pinion Feast, too. Yeah, this seems like a Conifer Strider deck, definitely. All right. I don't mind taking them back to back. It's a late Silumgar scoring. They're both very much potentially main deck cards in here. It feels like at the very least, one of them is going to make the deck. None of these cards matter. Spider Silk Net I've sideboarded before and been happy with. And considering we have a big lack of reach at the moment, I think that's going to work. Let's Hate the Negate. So our deck's okay right now. I mean, we have Dragonlord Jamoka, and we're going to be able to make the splash work. We did not table the Haven of the Dragonlords, unfortunately. I kind of was expecting to be honest. I've had it played against me, but it would have been pretty nice in this deck, being able to bring back the Dragon Lord Jamoka if it dies. Ooh. Dragon Claw is a pretty excellent card to open, mostly because we decided to go into red. So that's really rewarding going into red here. Otherwise, to be honest, there's nothing else that's too crazy for us. Frontier Mastodon seems like something that I could easily play in here. Destructor Dragon is perfectly acceptable. But let's take Dragon Claw pretty easily, I think. Very good card. Okay, so we've got a Heel Cutter. We have Rugged Highlands. I think Heel Cutter is a little bit too good to pass up in general. It's a very strong card. And we look like we're actually, we can be beat down. Even though we've got sort of a, pretty ideal late game plan. I think we can, we're certainly looking for more playables too. And Heel Cutter is definitely that. So I think we take Heel Cutter, hope to table Highlands. If we don't, we get Return to the Earth or maybe Shockmaw Dragon. But I feel like our late game, like I said, is kind of good already. Between 2 dragons that are good and Herd Chaser. I guess I could use one more, but we do definitely seem to be good already on the creature front. Well, here's another chance to take Crucible. Oh wait, this one's different than the Haven of the Spirit Dragon. I'm surprised I didn't know that. That's kind of strange, actually. I didn't even realize there was. I always saw those and thought they were the same thing. Well, I'm gonna slam Bathe in Dragonfire because removal is good and Bathe in Dragonfire is a premium one, so we're gonna just slam that. But yeah, maybe we table Crucible. I could play that with Dragon Lord Jamoka. But yeah, there's 2 rare dragon lands, and I've been this far along and I never realized that. That's amazing. All right, now there's Rage Form. There's another Rugged Highlands. There's a Mardu Scout. I like Rage Form a lot, and Rage Form flipping any of our dragons or Conifer Strider is insane with Rage Form. Just straight insane. 5/1 Hexproof Death Touch. That's pretty debilitating. I think we're going to take Rage Form. I actually just like this card in general. Puts us a little deeper red, but I think that's fine. This is a bit awkward. Sure Shot's the best card. I think I take Return to the Earth because it's a pretty excellent sideboard card. Granted, I still need some playables, but I'm not really psyched about Smoldering Efreet in this deck. Some good blue cards for sure. I think I'm going to take Return to the Earth. I don't think we're main decking it. And ideally, I guess we're not main decking Pinion Feast either, but it's just, these are really nice to have in your sideboard. All right, easily taking Einok Guide and playing it in this deck. We need the 3rd color anyway, so Einok Guide, Evolving Wilds, 1 Plains, and we are totally set on Dragon Lord Jamoka. And Einok Guide also has good synergies with Avatar the Resolute, so I kind of like that. All right, Feral Krushok's actually a really nice pickup. It's a card I think is efficiently costed and usually playable. And in a deck like this, it seems very playable, so happily take that. Okay, interesting. I could take Cash Defenses. We have 4 2-drops that play with it just fine. I don't think we necessarily need another Return to the Earth since we already have Pinion Feast and 1 Return to the Earth. I'll take Cash Defenses. I think we might be able to make it work in here too. All right, well, we tabled Destructor Dragon. I think I can, yeah, pretty sure I can get behind that. At this point, we probably sideboard the Pinion Feast. Okay, so we have a deck already. I think we're just going to take Rugged Highlands. I probably have enough 2-drops where I'm not going to end up needing or playing a Smoldering Efreet, so let's take the Highlands, make our mana base better again. All right, Crucible the Spirit Dragon. I can do it. I don't think we're color... Well, that's debatable. I was going to say, I don't think we're color intensive. Well, I'll take it anyway, because I'm not giving up anything else I'm considering, so there is that. I mean, we'll take a Return to the Earth here. Another one. I don't mind having all these against certain decks that's just, you're really going to, these are like, against, you know, blue-white flyers lists or even blue-black, having these is just insane. I'm going to take the land here. All right, River Prowler can be good in heavy exploit decks. All right, so we've got a good-looking deck. Granted, we have quite a few dragons that are expensive, but I think that's not an issue. Do I want to play Crucible of the Spirit Dragon? I kind of do. It's a colorless land, but I like that you can put storage counters on it and ramp for your dragons. We only have, well, we've got quite a few double green, but we only have one double red, so I don't think it's going to be crippling on our mana base. I don't think I want to play 18 lands either. I've got a Berserker that ramps. I've got Einok Guide that finds lands. We do have, well, not often am I going to hardcast Herd Chaser Dragon. I don't think it's much more of like morph fodder. I do have 3 6-drops, however. But hitting any of those with Rage Form is pretty sweet. I don't think I need 18 lands. I feel like I stay pretty busy in the early game. Like, I can put a lot of pressure on with 3 mana. I really can. I can put a lot of pressure on with 3 mana, which makes me less inclined to want to play 18 lands. Especially since I only need to run 1 plains. Alright, I think I am going to try out Crucible the Spirit Dragon in this deck. And that I feel like Crucible is even more reason to play 17. Because if I'm not hitting my 6th land, at least I can put storage counters on this. But it might be too slow. Yeah, I don't know. I should probably try it. See what I think. Removal-wise, how are we doing? We got Tread Upon Trick, Confrontation removal, Bathe is removal, Sarkhan's Rage is removal. So a little bit removal light. But cash defenses can just win some games. People typically do not expect the cash defenses. They really don't. And it can do a lot of work for you on turn 3. Or even on like a Dragon Claw, turning into a 7/5 Trampler. It's pretty insane. Or Conifer Strider, turning it into an 8/4 Hexproof. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I think I'm okay with this. I need to decide how many red sources and green sources I want to play. I probably want straight up 10 green. So if I did this, I've got 10 ways to get green. That's what I want. And then I've got 7 ways to get red. I think that's fine. And then the 1 plains with the Crucible and the Evolving Wilds and the Einok Guide. Yeah, this actually came together kind of nicely. So yeah, I think our curve is pretty good. I think our rares are pretty good. Our removal could be better, but isn't like terrible. And yeah, I think our curve is pretty good too. So, all right, I guess this is the final deck. We'll see how we do. I'll see you round 1.